further ado, since we were talking about people clapping back at people for saying dumb shit, let's get into this Snoop Dogg mess. So I'm sure y'all probably already heard the tea and stuff right now that Snoop Dogg went on some tight ass, big back Cadillac looking bitches podcast to go talk about the fact that he was bothered, spooked and nervous to the point that he don't even want to go to the movies no more because they had a lesbian couple in the Disney animated film Lightyear. So he had a whole problem with it. Yeah, Calvin Cardoza Brodus Jr. had a problem with seeing lesbians up on the screen when, mind you, last time I checked, sir, you did an episode of the L Word. So you ain't no problem being around lesbians then. Not saying that everybody in the cast was gay, but it was basically the lesbian equivalent of Queer as Folk at the time. You went on that show. You had no problem doing that show. And then also didn't you play a white pimp named Alabaster on The King of the Hill? So if you could go on there and play characters that are totally not you and be a part of a community where it's not that hard to explain how two women can have a kid, because there are different people out there in the world. Like you've been in this industry for over 30 years. You pretty much have made your living selling the most ignorant of ignorant aspects of Black culture to the masses. Pimp culture, walking Black women or women on leashes. I can't say it was Black women, but it was like you were walking women on leashes. Or maybe they were Black. I don't remember, but I remember you were walking women on leashes, and there was some controversy around that. So this whole pimp culture that you played up, allegedly you unalived some people. Remember, you was on trial for that. You were on the death row records. So that whole image of like what you were promoting, but you have a problem explaining how Timmy got two mommies to your grandson. Okay, so with that all being said, they said AFL chief executive Andrew Dillon defended paying the star a reported $2 million for his appearance. Um, because he performed at the Australian Football League's grand final last September, and they said that he's had a history of anti-gay comments. Funny enough, I ain't really been paying attention to Snoop Dogg like that, but apparently they said that yeah, he has he's pretty much come under fire. Like, but that's close to 1.5 million in Australian dollars. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the one point, that's what they have. And then they said he implied that the star had changed. Well, apparently he didn't. Because maybe he changed in front of you, but apparently they said, he hasn't. Because if you go on and making a comment like this, and to my all ish, I ain't come for this ish. I came here to watch the goddamn movie. Y'all throwing me in the middle of this ish that I don't have an answer for. So you don't really have an answer for how to tell a kid how two women have a kid. And I understand maybe he's a little too young, because I remember once upon a time when I was a little kid and I asked my parents where babies come from. My mother was like, you was a little too young. I'm not ready to have this conversation with you yet. But then a year later, we came around to it and she sat me, my sister, and my brother down. We watched a little cartoon on like reproductiveness and where babies came from and that sort of thing. So yeah, kids are always going to be genuinely curious and trying to understand what things are. And yeah, when we were growing up, we didn't have animated movies or kid films or regular movies or whatever that showed queer representation. So we didn't have to worry about that growing up. But we're in a different time now. A lot LGBTQIA plus people are more out there. They're more, we're more open with it. We're more aware of what's going on. So you can't really like hide around it anymore. Now it's, kids are more exposed to seeing diversity, especially with social media. So you're going to see queer people. And you being in this music industry, you're going to tell me you ain't been around enough rhymes with maggots to be able to explain this to your grandson. You just chose to go on this show to be obtuse and surprise his ass getting eaten up. Which brings me to T.S. Madison, who went over on Harvey's show, TMZ, and they had a little conversation. And sometimes I'll be looking at Harvey with the side eye because I'm like, sir, you are a whole homosexual, and you up in here trying to act slow with this whole conversation. So talking about that he understand because he a gay man, and it was like, girl, you're a white man at the end of the day, so your experience is always going to be different. You're going to be a white male first before you put a dick up in your ass or in your mouth. So let's not sit up in here and try to act like that you can be so oblivious to a lot of the privileges and things that go on, or what marginalized people, specifically if you're a black and trans or you're a black and gay, have to deal with versus what white gays have to deal with on a daily basis, which is not a whole lot. They can sit up here and threaten to take away marriage and all this other stuff, and yeah, y'all get up out in the streets and start picketing, and then they may wrap around it. But when it comes down to the black folks that are queer, or or brown folks that are queer, we have a whole lot more to deal with. Racism within the community and a whole bunch of other stuff. But let me get off my high horse. Cause I can't let go. And let's get into this video, courtesy of the TMZ, and then we'll come back and talk. Please. Oh, wait, hold on now. What happened? That wasn't what I wanted to go into. I wanted to go here. But there is this stupid, I hate when they ads open up. Come on, come on, come on. I gotta refresh then. Because I'm like, why it's not opening? Oh, of course, it's gonna play an ad, so now we gotta sit through this mess. I don't know why it's playing. Well, let me scroll down a little bit. 17 seconds. Come on. Come on. Come on. And I had this whole damn thing ready. Here we go. DSW. Hurry up. God damn it.
What say you about this?
Well, I have questions, and I wrote a few of them down. Snoop Dogg has historically been an advocate against censoring, and his fame is based off expression. So my question is, Snoop, you have music videos with women dancing and kissing other women, dancing naked. So why is displaying lesbian behavior in your music videos appropriate, and you are afraid to answer the questions from your grandchildren?
So wait a minute. There's an answer to that, which is that the videos that he does for his music videos for adults, they're not Lightyear.
I think he would say that
they're not for kids.
Those music videos aren't for kids.
I know that would be the setting, and that would be the but as a person who understands how kids work, kids see everything. Kids see everything. They see music videos. They hear lyrics. They hear these things.
But TS, that's where parenting comes in, right? I mean, you're right. Kids, if you just let them, they can see everything. But
I'm glad you said that's where parenting comes in, because as a parent, you should also explain to your children that other things exist in the world outside of what you have deemed normal in your own home.
Let me ask you something, because I'm gay. And I get the points you're making, but at the same time, maybe at a certain age, you do bring things up, but at ages that are earlier than that, kids that are younger, a parent can say, I'm not ready to talk to them about it yet. I mean, that doesn't make them homophobic if they say, I don't want to talk to them about all this until a certain age.
It's rooted in a bit of homophobia.
Is it? Is it though?
A little bit. It is rooted because
it can be. It certainly can be. But I don't know if it is in Snoop's case. But
you also you're never afraid to talk to your kids about having a little boyfriend or a little girlfriend at a certain age. I know that we've been conditioned to be able to understand heteronormative activity. We've been conditioned to that because that's all we see, because we've always, as queer people, been pushed to the side and swept under. So it is time for us to have these uncomfortable conversations. Maybe not at 4. Maybe Papa will explain that to you in a year or so. Just watch the movie.
I gotta say, I've been around a long time, and for a long time I have not felt pushed to the side and pushed away. And I hear people talking about that, but that's not society today, and it's not society even.
Oh, I don't think that.
Well, Harvey,
I
love you.
Harvey.
I love you, but you're a white man, and you also are a white gay
Trust
man.
me, I was around when bars were raided, when people were fired from their jobs during the AIDS epidemic.
It's not better.
So I know what discrimination is more than just about anybody.
Yeah, but it's still it comes from a different lens when you're talking about more marginal, and I don't want to lean heavy into it to, because it's not your fault that you're white, but you're a white man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, especially in this time right now, like trans people are extremely under attack.
That's true.
Queer people are under attack, and like they've made us public enemy number one. You know, and we're just existing. We're not even a large percent of the population, and they're making it seem like that our existence is forcing everybody else out. I get tired of people of color, and it's particularly Black men that are voicing these things and are a part of the problem. And I think that what tends to happen is that we all forget, you know, what hand that we play in, you know, the hand we play in stuff.
Well, she would be correct in a lot of that, what she had to say. And it's like, yeah, I was like, at any age, you got to be able to, like, you got to feel like whatever's coming for you to want to explain certain things to kids, like where babies come from, homosexuality. These are conversations that eventually people are going to have to have. I understand that people feel uncomfortable having want to have those conversations, but I'm sorry, unless you plan on homeschooling your kids or living in a mud hut somewhere, if you can find one, your kids are going to encounter people who are different than them, and they're going to have to learn and figure out how not only who these people are, but you're going to have to coexist in a world where you're going to be dealing with people that are different than who you are and how you were raised and that sort of thing. And just showing like, you know what, I don't agree with whatever, but I respect you as who you are because my parents taught me to just be kind to someone or respect people. Look, there have been so many times where I'll see movies and TV shows and be around people that I don't necessarily care for and subject matter that I don't particularly am comfortable with in films, but we deal with it. Why is it when it comes to queer people, this is the ultimate thing that a lot of straight people have a hard time wrapping their brain around or trying to make sense of? I just don't get it. Or I just feel like some people choose to be obtuse. Some people choose to just be in their feelings about stuff and just continue to feel a certain way about certain things. I just don't get it. I just feel like um Snoop, you know better in regards of all of this that's going on with you know better in this whole situation. I just feel like at your big age, you know how to deal with queer people in this whole situation, but you just choose to say certain things because you're going on a certain channel and you fit in a certain narrative of what they want over there. And if that's what you're doing, you succeeded. But you got to realize the times is different, the world is evolving, and y'all either shit or get off the damn pot because queer people ain't going nowhere, regardless of how you feel about it. So you could take and use Bible scriptures to do whatever it is to help you sleep at night, but the gays ain't going no damn where, and you're going to be encountering them or whatever the case is. So yeah, I mean, I could go on about this whole situation, but I don't have the time. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story regarding what Snoop Dogg had to say about the gays? I was pondering whether or not I even want to talk about it, but since I had like the T.S. Madison clip and those other stuff, I felt like I can give a little more nuance because I didn't want to just say like the same old beats or the same old things everybody else been saying. I always try to find my own way of bringing a spin on certain stories that don't sound like a broken record, you know. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Right.